And here it is. Here's the camera I picked up. Now, this is a Thornton Pickard college camera, circa 1910. I think they were made around 1910. Between 1910 and 1920 is when these were in production. And these were designed for wet plate photography in the later era of wet plate, when it was starting to go out of fashion. See here, I've got a lovely rusty example of this camera, but we do have some nice ground glass, a nice f7.7 lens there, but we'll take a little bit of a closer look at that in a minute. I did come with a few extras, so I've got some film holders here, so these will be for the wet plates or potentially dry plates, depending on what I can get my fingers on. And with dark slides, and these are numbered as well, up there, there it is, numbered as well, so we'll see how we get on with those. Interestingly, we've got another ground glass there, I don't know if you can see, but it's got pencil drawn framing guides on it, which is very, very cool. It shows all the history that is in these sorts of cameras. Another one of those. Here we've got an adapter plate for another type of film holder. So these ones, I think again it's dry or wet plate, but this particular one appears to be smaller. So I think these are quarter plate. I guess these are 1/6 plate, but I'm not sure of the exact dimensions. That's another ground glass holder, so a folding one, so you have that on the back. You can fold it out the way and get your film in. And then, let's have a look at a few interesting bits in here. So we've got some strange, well that one I don't know what it is, but with that one, we've got some, it's like a card negative holder or film holder, may have been used as an adapter for putting potentially 2x3 sheet film into one of these dry wet plate adapters, maybe. I'm not 100% sure. We've got this. I've got no clue what this is whatsoever. So it's got a couple of hinges to open up the back, and then there's a bit of glass in there. I honestly have no idea. Potentially for printing or something, but it looks almost brand new. So I'm going to have to do a bit of research on that one. And then lastly, last thing in this, what I think it was a cigar box, is we have some glass plates which would have been used to expose onto. So obviously back in the early days of wet plate photography, everything was exposed onto dark glass, so you put your chemicals on the dark glass. Nowadays everything seems to be onto aluminium sheets. Everything that I've seen is available anyway. But that's very cool to have those. Depends on if I get the chemicals or if I get the pre-treated sheets, I may give those a go. So, back to the camera. Right, so you can see it's not in the best condition, is it? It was relatively cheap, hence the condition. As far as I'm aware, it's been stuck in someone's loft for many, many years, and has come from a house clearance, really. But I do want to get it back up and running. It's a nice piece of history. Back up, running, working, and shooting. What we shoot, well, we'll see. We might try some wet plate eventually. We might try some dry plate. And then with the back, I might see if I can get some different adapters for it to maybe shoot some roll film or something like that. So at the top, you can see we've got a massive rip in the bellows here. So we're going to have to replace those. I've never made camera bellows before, so there's a first time for everything, so that's going to be fun. But thankfully we've got the originals. We should be able to make a template, and then it'll just be me spending 100 hours folding them. The strap on the top, that's all snapped as well, so we'll find an alternative for that. Now, one thing that I was a little bit disappointed on when I went to go pick this up is that, if I can open it, the shutter mechanism is missing. So this is the short shutter box. Would have been a Thornton Pickard roller shutter in there, and these holes on the side, if you can see those. Those were where the winding knobs and various bits came out of. Now, I'm not sure how I'm going to get around this. I haven't quite decided yet. I might try and build some sort of shutter mechanism myself, some sort of rudimentary shutter mechanism. I might try and scavenge something from one of the millions of box Brownie cameras I've got lying about, and see if I can adapt that to fit into here. Or I might just go without. Because if you are shooting wet plate, it's usually ISO 2 or 3. And in the early days, you didn't bother with a shutter because you had about a 3-second exposure. So you just take the lens cap off, wait, put it back on. But we'll see. I'll be excited. I mean, I think I might try and make something. I think that'll be fun, won't it? So we've got all the brass fixings here, which are incredibly rusted, so I'm going to have to tear this down and fix all those. The focusing is very, very stiff, so we'll see how we get on with that. Now, coming on to the lens itself. So again, this is very, very rusty. There should be some lens markings there, which you cannot read. You can just about see there's some rust on the top where the f-stop was. But the aperture does work nice and smoothly. Although, you know, I can see some nice fingerprints in the lens and just a general load of filth. So again, that's going to need to be torn down and cleaned and done up. But yeah, so I hope you'll join me on this repair restoration journey. It's going to be exciting. It's the first time I've tried restoring anything this old, and this is definitely the oldest camera in my collection at the moment, you know, going on 100, 110 years, which is just amazing to have this sort of thing out and about. And obviously I love to take it out and shoot. Weird tripod mounts at the bottom, weird old tripod mounts that I'll have to try and work out how to use. But yeah, but let's get to it. Let's tear this down. Okay. Here we have it. Here are all the component parts of the Thornton Pickard College. Now, yes, there's a lot of filth on the desk as well, but we're going to see what we can do to make these look a lot better before we put everything back together. And there we go, there's the college logo or emblem that was hidden. But yeah, so many tiny screws. I'm gonna have to try and remember where these all go. Thanks for watching, see you next time.